What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Triple H confirms that Raw will be 100% uncensored, Triple H has been targeted, Rhea Ripley return plans, the real reason Pat McAfee was absent on Raw, a superstar injured, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive leads. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now, as always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Braun Breaker Badass. A Braun Breaker doesn't have to do much to get over other than to destroy everything in his path, and so far, that's exactly what he's been doing. Sometimes the simplest booking methods are all that's needed, and so far, Braun's push is magnificent. Number 2, Drew does it again. McIntyre hit another grand slam with a promo, relishing his recent beatdown on CM Punk and turning things personal by discussing how he stole Punk's friendship bracelet and promising to win the Money in the Bank and get back everything that was taken from him. Number 3, strong women's Money in the Bank qualifier. Lyra Valkyrie's win over Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane was a reminder of how this year's Money in the Bank qualifiers have been booked so well, providing fantastic matches and giving fresh talent a chance to win the all-important briefcase. Number 4, Liv Morgan gets Judgment Day back on track. Liv Morgan is living up to her motto, "You only live once," with her current work on Raw. While her in-ring work may never be her strong suit, she's been on point with her microphone work and interaction with WWE superstars. While the storyline focus is on Liv's attempt to seduce Dominic, the WWE has taken advantage of fan interest in Liv's revenge tour by having her interact with other superstars such as Zelina Vega and the Judgment Day. Morgan's efforts to woo the Judgment Day over appear to be working, as she not only gave some great gifts, but she also helped them regain the WWE World Tag Team Championship, and she may have also helped out Finn Balor behind closed doors. Number 5, Women's Tag Title Division. It's always good to see the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship being defended, especially when the champ aren't high-profile teams like the Kabuki Warriors or the recent champions of Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. The Unholy Union may only be transitional champs, but it's important to book title defenses regardless of how long the reign lasts. As for Kaden Carter and Katana Chance losing, it's clear that their role right now is to make others look good. Number 6, Karrion Kross's last chance. The current Karrion Kross storyline with the New Day's Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods is progressing well so far, and it has serious potential to establish Kross as a master of mind games rather than just a guy who attacks wrestlers only to lose when he steps into the ring. The WWE has done well in teasing that Xavier Woods will leave Kofi, but keeping fans guessing. The only downside to this is that if Kross comes up short again, as he does in all his feuds, it's doubtful anyone could take him seriously or the Final Testament seriously. Number 7, Chad Gable's storyline takes a new turn. Chad Gable has had a change of heart thanks to his near-death experience with the Wild Six. Regrettably for him, that doesn't mean his former Alpha Academy students have forgiven him and Gable looked all alone. But is he? The timely arrival of the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile suggests Gable has new allies. Will they work out for Gable, and more importantly, will they put up with his excesses? The same that led to the Alpha Academy walking out on him. Number 8, Miz was good on color commentary. A color commentary isn't as easy as it looks, and as fans have seen before, a wrestler who is good on the stick isn't always good in the announce booth. Thankfully, Miz rose to the occasion, providing insight and depth to everything he called alongside Michael Cole. While there was criticism that The Miz didn't say anything outrageous, his work didn't distract from the show and he did an above-average job, especially for someone called in at the last minute. And superb stipulation for Priest vs Rollins. Seth Rollins upped the stakes for his title match against World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest with an interesting stipulation. If Seth loses, he can never challenge for the title as long as Priest is champion. However, if Priest loses, he must leave the Judgment Day. Stipulation matches are a reliable way to enhance match, but not every stipulation has to be a cage match or an I Quit match, and this stipulation will add even more excitement at Money in the Bank. And the Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas video. Now, it was actually nice to see Uncle Howdy discussing the late great Bray Wyatt's passing, with Bray's real-life brother Bo Dallas handling a subject that is very delicate in the wrestling world. Of course, a big thing that hits home personally with him. But that was a good. What about the bad? As number 1, everybody gets a title shot. The WWE needs to get back on track with making wrestlers earn title shots. Although the WWE sometimes gets carried away with lengthy tournaments for a title shot, they've swung back to the dismal days when anyone could just ask for a title shot and get one. This approach is okay on occasion, but Raw's had all its titles put up for grabs thanks to wrestlers just asking for a title shot. And number 2, One Massacre. Did you know Uncle Howdy and his collection of creeps wiped out Raw's backstage area last week? Other than mentioning Chad Gable, Raw had little discussion of the incident, treating it like it happened on Main Event. Fans eagerly tuning in and hoping to get the dirt on who was attacked and how the WWE is addressing things had to be a little bit disappointed. Now, there was nothing downright ugly, but the lack of a follow-up to last week's backstage massacre created major plot holes. The WWE needs to tighten things up and ensure that the Wyatt 6 storyline doesn't break down into hot-shotting, where the WWE produces big segments like last week's backstage attack, but fails to follow them up. And also kudos to Triple H for making those little subtle hints, as when Chad Gable was walking backstage, you could clearly see a picture of Alexa Bliss in the back. As we know, in the Triple H era, we don't take these hints very lightly. So could we see the return of Alexa Bliss back in WWE? But that was our quick review of Raw. What do you guys think of the red brand last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now first we looks at more big changes to WWE PLEs. On top of today's news are more rumors that the WWE may expand more PLEs into 2-night events and that the WWE may move the Royal Rumble and Wrestlemania to avoid competing with major sports playoffs. A recent Fightful report noted that the Royal Rumble as a possible February destination has long been discussed and was a potential Wrestlemania date in May before late April was settled on. We're told that avoiding Super Bowl weekend and NFL playoffs was important into that decision making. As Vince McMahon once said, it's all about the money, and TKO Holdings is clearly doing what any business should, maximize profits. As long as things don't sink into a penny-wise and pound-foolish scenario, this is good news for TKO shareholders. However, it may not be good for fans, as we could have 2 months without PLEs, that being December and January. Could you guys wait that long for the Royal Rumble? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Triple H confirms Raw will be 100% uncensored. Should WWE fans expect a censor-free environment when Raw moves to Netflix in January 2025? Or Triple H is making it clear things won't be the same as they've been on broadcast TV and cable? However, just how much will those shows' content change? Well, the Cerebral Assassin discussed this during an appearance on the Pat McAfee show. What are the restrictions or not restrictions? Being on Fox, if the crowd chants holy shit or something worse, then they take the audio out. Sometimes they take the picture and the audio out and it's a black screen. The Rock comes in and you can't tell what The Rock to do. He does what he does. We won't have those issues with Netflix. While the WWE is unlikely to adopt anything goes format regarding profanity and adult content, it will likely test the waters. The game told McAfee about just how important Raw's move to Netflix is and how it can blaze a trail for other shows. The ability to be live globally and seen live everywhere is a game-changing moment. In many ways, that's sort of where the world is heading. Streaming services. The NFL is sticking its toe in the water, NBA, every sport. It's why this Netflix deal for us is so game-changing, and everybody is going to be watching us in January, especially other sports. From the business side, they're going to be watching us to see what we do differently and how it's received. How far do you think WWE will go with Raw in terms of pushing the envelope? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Triple H talks fan concerns over Chad Gable. Triple H also addressed fans' concern over Chad Gable's health following the 17th June Raw, where it appeared he'd been hurt, with some fans thinking it looked like Gable had been shot in the head. You see things on TV and it escalated quickly from here's Chad Gable laying down. He's obviously unconscious. To him, oh my god, he got shot in the head. And there's obituaries been put on him. People wishing him well, like, look, it's one of those wonderful things about our fans that they just love to be engaged in the product and to, in their minds, fantasize where it can go and what it's going to be. And it's an awesome part of what we do. Every now and then we got to pull back into reality a little bit and like, oh, Chad Gable is still alive. Okay, clarify that for the record. Now, whilst he addressed Chad Gable's status, he also confirmed that he probably has a burner account on Twitter, as how else would he see all these obituaries? Next up, Triple H targeted. The Wyatt 6 were added again during Triple H's appearance on the Pat McAfee show. There was a brief interruption when someone cut into the show with a "you lied" message. What do you think that means? Next up, WWE superstar injured. Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser has been enjoying a singles push, but it may be on hold if the following story from WrestleVotes is accurate. Unfortunately, I'm hearing Ludwig Kaiser suffered an injury tonight on Raw during his match with Braun Breaker. It's far too early to tell, but we'll continue following this story and send our best wishes to Ludwig for a speedy recovery if he's injured. Next up, Rhea Ripley return plans. The WWE has been plagued by injuries, including former women's champion Rhea Ripley, whose exact return date is unknown. Nonetheless, a new report from Fightful Select suggests fans may see her at SummerSlam. There have been reports that Rhea Ripley wasn't scheduled for WWE SummerSlam. However, WWE sources had indicated that they have things constructed that Ripley can slide in and return to the program whenever she's ready, even in a non-wrestling capacity. The Fightful report added that the uncertainty over Ripley's return to active competition means she may not be involved in the world title picture since the WWE is making plans in her absence. Then again, the WWE could easily change things up when Ripley does return. Next up, the real reason that Pat McAfee was absent on Raw. And last but not least, was Pat McAfee the victim of the Wyatt Six? Well, fans were curious as Pat wasn't on Raw, and given the recent Uncle Howdy hauntings on the Pat McAfee show, there were questions whether they'd been taken out in a storyline. However, PW Torch's Wade Keller is reporting that PW Torch has been told that McAfee missed Raw due to a legitimate last-second family emergency. Hopefully, everything is all well within the McAfee family. But there you have it, folks. I'll look at Raw as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.